Hey kids, this is Jack. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Planet Zoo. This is the single serving zoo series, and today I'm going to be making an East Asian zoo. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome aboard. If you're one of my regulars, welcome back. Glad to have you either way. Oh yeah, I love it when you do that. Have you ever been just talking and suddenly you spit for no real reason because the word just is explosive and you go "Bleh," without actually meaning to? Yeah, let me wipe off my screen now. Serves me right for talking so soon after taking a drink of water. Anyway, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this nice, expansive, um, temperate map, and I'm going to turn it into an Asian flavored zoo, probably pseudo Chinese, pseudo Japanese, using the Asian themed elements um, found in the game. And this is going to be different from a lot of the other zoos that I do, because normally what I do is I will make it look a little wild and a little rough. But in this case, I am creating a regimented garden that has animals in it. This is not going to be a standard zoo, which is why I'm deleting the path and the entrance building and all that number. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, I know a lot of the excuse me, a lot of the veteran Planet Zoo players are aware of this, but for those of you who aren't, the only way to delete the entrance building like I've done this is in sandbox mode. You cannot do it in any of the other game modes, just sandbox. But that's okay. We are going to be building a brand new entrance. Let me get another drink of water. As usual, I'm having that thing where my throat wants to close up because of, reasons. Let me make sure this is nice and flat. All right, so let's get into the build. Ah, geez, come on, man. I don't want to be hawking up loogies every time I speak. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build an entrance building. And I'm going to use... no, wait, first, let me use this. We'll turn off the blueprints. Was it dry stone? Dry stone. Dry stone works. Dry stone. Okay, so this is the general pattern, the general material that we're going to use from the East Asia set. This part here. Also, there are a couple of blueprints. I'm gonna put them out so you know which ones I'm dealing with. There are a couple of blueprints. Yikes! Jesus, God, Jack, get it together. What the hell is up? I'm going to set those out too so you know already what this is. This one here is an ATM cover. I'm going to be using that for the ATMs in the park. That was something that somebody else pointed out, that I kept forgetting ATMs in my single serving zoo. So this is, this is what I'm going to use. Now, I had it suggested that I use this info board, but I decided against it. It's just a little too clunky. That said, there is one that I did want to use, and it is, where is it? It is not on this page. Okay. And these are really going to be just about the only, here it is. That's going to be the info board. These are just about the only blueprints I'm going to be using in the entire build. Okay? So now that I've got all that done, let's get to the actual building of this entrance. Yeah, let's just keep coughing there, Butler. All right. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm using the dotted line that shows me where um, the park border is, the zoo border. I'm using that as kind of a guide so that we can see whether or not the actual wall here is in a straight line. As you can tell right there, it pretty much is. I mean, look at that. That's pretty much a straight line. So let's move this in like this. All right. Since it is a straight line, we can just do this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. And then we'll all right. And I know you're probably wondering, okay, what's he doing? You know, well, I'll show you. You know, you'll be able to tell. So anyway, the first thing after I got this down, what we want to do is put guest spawners back into the zoo. This is where the guests are going to be showing up. Okay? And we'll deal with the ticket booths where they actually pay the entrance price later on. But right now, what we wanted to do is put those in. And they will connect to paths, and guests will just appear on these things, and they'll walk down the path and toward the entrance. Now, okay, oh, that's right. The theme's on, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, now I could do this, but you notice how messy it looks? It just doesn't look right to me there. You know, I mean, look at that. That's it clips. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this instead. Okay? Now you're probably wondering why I didn't put any there. I'll show you in a minute. But anyway, after those, we're going to put the smaller ones on top. Okay? Like so. All right. So this is going to be the rough beginning of our building. Now there is something I wanted to do first, and that is I'm gonna select all the wall pieces I've already laid down, or at least all the plaster pieces. You know, I am using the bottom is dry stone pieces, but the top part is all plaster. And what I want to do is I want to recolor it from this kind of grayish color to white. I want it to be as pale as I possibly can. Did I forget this? I forgot these. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Easily fixed. You know, I want the plaster parts to be as pale as I possibly can get them. All right. Now, I need these, I think. Yes. And we'll put these on. And then once they're on, we're going to color them again. Now, yes, technically, I could have just put those things, put these pieces on at the same time I did the rest of it. I'll be brutally honest, I just didn't think of it. You know, as long as everything gets you to the same, it gets you to the location you want to go. It doesn't really matter what order you really put them in. So, excuse me. Now let's see. What we want to do here is let's get rid of that. And these are all the Asian and apparently South American. Let me see what I need. East Asia. Here we go. Scratchy, scratchy, scratch, scratch. Okay, let's see. All right. Let's get back to wall decorations. Find the one I want. Yeah. Now, just so you know, I expect this first episode of the Asian Zoo to be nothing more than me putting these buildings together and putting the entrance together. Sorry if that doesn't really pique your interest, but it's just the way it's going to be. I apologize. I know a lot of people out there. They're like, I have received comments, mostly from people on Facebook, where it's like, but you spent this entire time building a building, and I watch your videos for the animals, and I'm like, well, no, what you're watching my videos for is you're watching me build things, and I'll be honest, I like building habitats, I really do, but you know what I like more? Building zoos, and I'm hoping that I've had people who are just starting out in this game say things like, I watched your build and you are just so great at it, and I don't see it. I openly admit I am my harshest critic. I really am my harshest critic. I have had people who I know are leaps and bounds more skilled at building than I am tell me that I am far too hard on myself about this. And I just have to kind of accept their word for it because I don't see it. But here's the thing. When someone who is just starting out in the game says to me, you are my inspiration. Well, personally, I think that there's a responsibility there. I mean, if somebody's going to actually tell me that they are inspired by what I'm doing in this game when they play for themselves, well, by God, I've got to do my best to give my best effort, You know what? No, wait. Let's not do that. Let's do this. You know, and I know it's weird because the truth is I don't really have a responsibility to anybody. I'm just playing a game, for crying out loud. I don't have to be somebody's inspiration, but I am. They said this. They trusted me enough to tell me that they look on my work and they want to be able to do that for themselves. Well, gee, there is a responsibility. I don't care what you say. There is a responsibility to do your best. If someone is going to be looking up at you and going, show me how to do this, then you have a responsibility to do the absolute best you can. And for me, when it comes to building zoos is much more than just building animal habitats. And I'd like to think that a lot of the people I look up to as inspiration would agree with me. I take inspiration from people like, Zoofluencer and the Lady Designer and Paulsley. Guys who are, several of them are actual professional designers, which means they've got skills I just don't. But here's the thing, as as my brother Nathan put it, yeah, sure, they're good at building zoos, but can they shear an egg? Well, I'm a chef. I know how to shear an egg. So everybody's good at something, and there's no shame in admitting that somebody else is better than you and taking inspiration from them. But if you're the person who is being seen as an inspiration, I believe you have a responsibility to do your best at all times, to present the best of whatever it is that you're doing at all times. And if that means taking an hour, 2 hours, however long it is, to do a beautiful building for your zoo, as I am doing now, then that's what you do. You know, and I'm sure that most of you will agree with me. All right, let's bring that right down here. And then a little bit back this way and a little bit back this way. Yeah. Okay. All right. This is me thinking, guys. Because here's the other thing. I'm making this up as I go along. I'm going, okay, does this look good? Yeah, that looks good. Maybe I'll use that. Yes, absolutely. And it works. Okay. And the reason I'm concentrating on this first building is because once I have an idea of how I want this first building to look, I can basically just copy all the decoration over and put it on the second building. Let me see. Sometimes it'll work out, sometimes it won't. But I'm always looking out for ideas, and I'm always trying to figure out what I want to do with it. And I think I've got a pretty good idea, especially in this case, what I want to do to decorate these buildings. Anyway, this is, as I said, going to be an East Asian park. Right at the moment, the animals I intend to include are the giant pandas, the red pandas, the Chinese pangolin, the Japanese macaque, and the snow leopard. If that changes, I will let you know. Whoops. This is going to be honest, a rather ambitious park. It's certainly, for all that I call this the single serving zoo, this is going to be the biggest one yet, I think, even bigger than the reptile zoo. The reptile zoo had that big ass building, and it had the Komodo dragon habitat. But this is actually going to have several different Asian animals in it. But not all the Asian animals. I mean, let's face it. I could also put like Siberian tigers, but that's more a Russian animal than a Chinese or Japanese animal. Okay, I think that's I think it's pretty good. Let me see. You know what? No. Nope. We're just going to keep it like that. Excuse me. All right. Oh, this is interesting. That means I didn't get the other one quite straight. That's all right, though. We can figure this out. Okay. So yeah, like I said, it'll have the two panda species. It'll have the red pandas and the that's not the one I wanted, is it? Wow. The red pandas, the giant pandas, the pangolins. I'm also going to include a couple of exhibit boxes. Okay. Obviously, I need to adjust these individually. Nope, that'll do. Okay. Now, let us deal with this. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so right away, before we put in the doors, I want to know where the doors are, obviously. So what I'm going to do, and as you can see, it does connect automatically to the guest spawner. So what I'm going to do is this. Okay, so that tells me where the path is. And what we'll do is, for crying out loud, no, come on. Don't do that. I want you to be nice. Malformed path part. Why? Align to grid. There we go. Whoop, hit the wrong buttons. Okay. All right, so this right here tells me where I should put the doors. So it's just a matter of choosing which door. What do you think? That or that? How about that? Nah. I'm liking this one. You know, doesn't quite look. You know, it looks kind of official, but yeah. And for those of you who are wondering, the guests will walk right through this door and this wall as if they aren't even there. Okay, so all right. I hate when I do that. When I mean to when I mean to select something and it turns out to it just favorites instead. I hate doing that. I hate it when it happens. It's annoying. Is that quite straight? Okay, you see it too, right? It's definitely got a lean. And then we'll just add this here. All right. Now, I like the looks of that. I do believe we have our building except for the roof. So, let's do this. I wonder if this is going to be a problem. It probably will be. Okay, it doesn't want to take the doors, so I'll have to move the doors separately.